Welcome back to The Takeout. Three candidates vying to be New York City's next mayor. Well, they had a debate last night. Here's some of what we heard from Zoran Mamdani, Andrew Cuomo, and Curtis Sliwa.
The definition of experience is not doing the same thing again and again and hoping for a different result. That's actually the definition of insanity.
Thank you. In other words, what the Assemblyman said is he has no experience. And this is not a job for someone who has no management experience to run 300,000 people, no financial experience to run $115 billion budget. He literally has never had a job.
Thank God I'm not a professional politician. We have the architect and we have the apprentice of no cash bail, which has been a disaster.
Robert Costa joins me now for his take. You've been up there reporting in New York City. You got a feel for it. Where is this race sitting as far as you're concerned? What are the ideological fault lines? What are the trend lines?
Well, to boil it down,
please,
you really see in Mamdani up close when I was in Washington Heights and talking to his voters at a rally earlier this week. It's the Senator Bernie Sanders movement transitioned politically toward New York City.
And with a younger component.
Younger, a diverse coalition, but it's the same language. He's talking about oligarchs, he's talking about billionaires, and he's talking about universal child care.
And does the Cuomo lack of experience argument cut into anything that you've seen as far as Mamdani's lead or electability?
You would think so. New York has a tendency to look at these people with a lot of scrutiny, but every time Cuomo seems to make inroads, his conduct and these allegations from the past is brought up as an issue.
Right.
So he's never, so far in this race, based on my conversations with voters, been able to really focus on Mamdani.
Can't get any open field running of his own. Curtis Lee was the Republican perennial candidate for New York City mayor. There is this hovering dialogue about what if he dropped out and if he did, would that change the race? But you don't detect any of that
possibility. Well, we saw even President Trump weighed in on the race and on Curtis Sliwa, and he said he doesn't have it, in Trump's view. And there's a sense among New York Republicans that he just doesn't have a shot. So it's going to be interesting to see, do some of those Republicans really just pull the lever for Cuomo?
Mm-hmm. It's important, and we obsess about it. Possibly we could be accused of that on this show because New York City is the most important city in America. I don't think there's any question about that.
I mean, I grew up outside of Philadelphia.
I know. Philly's important. LA is important. San Diego, my beloved hometown, really important.
There's like
lots of great cities, but New York is the fulcrum for America in a lot of different ways. Definitionally, image, and is also a seat of great American capitalist innovation and the future, as it often says about itself. And a socialist Democrat being elected mayor of that city is a possibly seminal event in American politics. Maybe, maybe not.
Well, it's interesting. Mamdani's addressed this in recent interviews, and he's talked about how David Dinkins, the former Democratic New York mayor, had a very strong relationship with the Democratic Socialists of America, wasn't appalled by Democratic Socialist ideas. And New York has a long history of big government.
Right. I mean, Fiorello LaGuardia was very close to FDR. Many people accuse FDR of being a socialist-type Democrat. So there is...
In a debate, Mamdani said his favorite president, FDR.
FDR, okay. Is there any scenario, Robert, based on your reporting up there from New York and feel on the ground, that there's anything other than on November 4th, election night, a Mamdani victory?
Oh, I never like to make a prediction on an election like this, especially with a political outsider who seems to be well ahead, but you don't know. There is always that silent majority. I mean, New York has a history. Think about
and as Cuomo often says, a much larger general election turnout model than in a Democratic primary.
And just think about history. About half century ago in New York, they elected William F. Buckley Jr.'s brother, Jim Buckley, U.S. Senator. And William F. Buckley Jr. runs for mayor of New York in 1965, does better than expected. There's sometimes a quiet conservative vote in New York. It elected Bloomberg. It elected Giuliani. But at this point, all the movement seems to be toward Mamdani. Here's why I really think it's going to be Mamdani based on my reporting. Aggrieved, frustrated millennials, Black, white, Asian, Latino, and other ethnicities, all seem to be frustrated with New York City and their economic opportunity. And maybe they were drifting center or right. They're with Mamdani because he's the change agent. And if this is a change election, he seems to have a really good position.
And very quickly, Robert, in New York, the mayor can do some things, but he still has to deal with the city council and the governor of New York.
And the president.
And the president.
If they send the National Guard to New York City.
Right. Or they withhold federal funds, as Trump has most definitely threatened to do.
And we've seen these clashes before. Remember Gerald Ford?
Right.
Drop dead. I mean, there's been a clash.
Ford to New York, drop dead. The immortal headline, either the Post or the Daily News.
Fights ahead for whomever wins this race, but if it's Mamdani, you can bet the White House is watching closely.
Robert Costa, excellent stuff as always. Thank you, sir.